Thank you very much. So yeah, Dado Labs. I don't like podiums very much, so this is Dado, and Dado is a Internet of Things connected platform as a service. There's the whole internet I brought with me over there on the left there, with a grill, and the grill is connected. If you watch up on the screen there, you see the Dado app. It's the patio bistro electric that's hooked up there, and we got some hot dogs that have been preheating. Oh yeah, we got a little swipe ad there that in case we talk about that a little bit later. We're going to start cooking those hot dogs while I'm talking so that we can, for the right questions, we'll give hot dogs at the end of the presentation. And so if you're a good question ask, if you ask a good question, we'll get you a hot dog. So what is Dado? Dado is a platform as a service. We found that the Internet of Things is this phenomenon everyone keeps talking about. Oh, I got a Nest and it connects to my phone and isn't that special? Well, it turns out that the brands that people care about are not prepared for the Internet of Things. Yay! That gives us the opportunity to sell them a platform as a service that allows us to sell hardware into their manufacturing facilities, their factories from our factory, to bring the brands that you know and love and trust already into the Internet of Things space. And so what does that mean? Well, we design the printed circuit boards and the firmware and the app that you see up on the screen there, and we do the cloud services and we do the web portal so that you can have a full platform as a service experience as a manufacturing partner of ours without having to invest in the infrastructure to do such a thing. We'll license our technology to you as a platform as a service for a small fee. A small fee. You won't even notice it as consumers. It'll be fantastic. So anyway, so then all of a sudden, you have the ability to take sheet metal and motors and heating elements from your traditional manufactured goods, hook them up to the Internet of Things, and beat disruptive technologies to the punch before they get into your niche space and make you obsolete. Aha, Nest, we defy you. And so what's going to happen as the hot dogs are cooking over there, you're going to start seeing some features of Dado in just a moment. I'll get a push notification when the hot dogs are ready to flip. And so I call that the father-in-law feature, right? So I'm trying to cook and someone's going to warn me that it's time to do something else. My father-in-law is champion at that. I won't mention it to him actually. But anyway, so what else is cool about this? Yes, it turns on and off. Yes, I can, up in the top here in the red bar, you can see that there's the temperature of the inside of the grill, and eventually we're going to get a little notification that says, hey, the time to flip the hot dogs. Oh, there it is. And hey, the patio bistro tells me that it's time to turn my hot dog. Well, why do I care about that? Well, if I'm entertaining, or I want to play a game with my guests, or I want to be remotely accessing the data that's happening, I can find out not only what's on the grill, how long it cooked for, and not only figure out this time, but last time. So I get to have a rich history of my cooking events so that if I got a steak and I cooked it to a particular recipe that I liked, or a thickness or a temperature that I thought worked really well, the history settings will remind me of that last time and then allow me to do it next time the same way. And in my case, I'm a bad cook, so I need little reminders like that. But not only that, we are covering the last yard of social media at the same time. You can say, well, how can that possibly be? All of the ROI behind social media and marketing is actually trying to figure out how consumers are really using the stuff that people have sold them. This is the last 3 yards of that equation. We know when you started your grill, how the ramp-up temperature went to preheat, what you put on the grill, how long you cooked it for, if there are any service code or events that took place, and then we're able to send you contextual advertisements, discounts, and incentives to continue using the products, services, and partner incentives through the menu and recipe applications as well. And all of that is living in the sidebar here. So we can tell you what you cooked, when you cooked in the history section. We have a maintenance section in case there's a time for a cleaning or it's time to replace any consumables. For example, if you wanted to, oh, by the way, you can get a coupon if you use our special cleaning solution right for a few months only. If it was a battery or gas system, we could tell you how much fuel was left, how much battery charge is remaining in the device, and all of the data you'd expect from an appliance is there, as well as the added functionality of having to have a step-by-step cooking experience as it's going through. And so the hot dogs are still counting down. And is it going to work? It's going to work. The countdown should not, it's not a DEFCON. It's going to actually just cook a hot dog. It's going to be okay. So what else am I going to do? Well, if I wanted to turn the thing on, if it's an electronic device, I could turn it on from my phone. If I want to turn it off, and I'll do that later, I'll turn it off. But if I wanted to cook something else alongside those hot dogs, I could choose a food and just say, you know, I want to cook some veggies on top of that and put some asparagus on the grill and add that to, there should be a nice little picture of an asparagus coming down from the cloud right now. And a duck. So if you like duck, we're going to put that on the grill as well. And so that in a nutshell is the Dado platform as a service. Questions now that the duck has begun? You in the back, sir. No, you can't pee on the grill. Next question. Next question. No, seriously, I'm not talking to him. Bucket of water. No, so safety. There are two things we do for safety. There are events codes that come up on your phone that say, hey, there's a grease fire or a burnout or a flame out event for gas products. There's also automatic shutoff that you can do when there's a temperature escalation or a spike. You can do auto shutoff from your phone and it'll turn it. It's already on fire, you're going to have problems doing that, but it'll send you events warnings before it actually burns the house down. Yeah, that's the model, that we work directly with the manufacturers' factories and install our hardware in their devices. We are talking about an aftermarket add-on version of Dado, but not yet. That's the next generation. Somewhere up in there, yeah.
So how large and expensive is the hardware?
So the hardware itself is about the size of a business card. It's living inside this little beige box down here, so it's not very large at all. It's about a $15 device that gets installed to the MOQ for the hardware itself that gets shipped to the factory. So it's pretty inexpensive, and it doesn't add to the retail cost all that much. Yeah.
I bought some light bulbs and I put them on my Wi-Fi network, and everything was wonderful. After it took a while to figure out how to get to my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But then they got hacked, and then there was a firmware update, and it was like a 2-hour
Yeah.
firmware update, and then it's a light bulb.
Yeah.
And it said, like, don't turn off the lights. We're updating the firmware.
Yeah.
How do you deal with all of that? Like, my wife is not going to be able to get this on the Wi-Fi, and if the thing gets hacked, like they literally can use the light bulb as a bridge into your Wi-Fi network.
Sure. So thank you for that. We wrote our own OS for this. So it's binary chipset that's sent to our manufacturing partner. You'd have to know where the fuses are and connect to the fuses to get to the binary, and then you have to know what to do with the binary. So you can't hack our OS. It's not an open source. It's a proprietary OS. And it's time to turn my hot dogs. You, sir, up in the front there. So yeah, if you want to come to our feature meeting on Thursday, if you want to come by there, that'd be fantastic. And we can talk about the next generation features. No, so right now it does not scan foods for cooking, but it could certainly, we're not limited by the technology. Certainly scan technology on the iPad and iPhone is there for right now. If we wanted to do that, we could set a recipe by scanning it. Yes, sir. So the menus this is a white label application. Our partners are going to set up the original menus, but they're also going to have sponsored menus from different chefs, vendors, supermarkets, et cetera, that will curate those menus as well. So this is just a white label app.
Last couple of weeks, IoT standards have been in the news between kind of Intel and Qualcomm and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Have you guys chosen a route?
Yeah, so our experience has been that industry standards take about 2 decades to come into fruition. And so we're figuring we're going to be in and out of this marketplace and sitting on a beach somewhere in the 10-year range, and the standards still won't be set yet. We're going to go with good old HTTP right now, HTTPS, as our standard. We don't believe that any of the other standards are going to be in place anytime soon because unfortunately or fortunately for us, industries are going to be very siloed in their adoption of these technologies and standards, and basically going to give it a big FU to each other. So in the meantime, we'll be sitting on the Wi-Fi.